Hi, I'm Tooth, aka Threeville Ink on the interwebs, and today I want to talk about the fact that I hate clubbing. Not really. I'm making little balls out of tissue paper that I don't know where I've sourced from. I think in a parcel from something. Um, but tis quite useful for what I am currently doing, which I guess thou shalt maybe find out. I don't know really. But yeah, I've not been big on posting this month because I've been busy at uni, which might be why I'm so passionate about the fact that we need to bring back childlike wonder into the world. And I feel like there's been a bit of a whimsy resurgence of people are trying to make their lives a little bit more fun and mystical. And I'm all for it. Do not get me wrong. I'm so all for. My phone's at 20%. Wow. I'm so all for it. Whimsy is the backbone of my heart and soul, basically. But I don't know, I just want to talk about that because I don't know, I feel like I should have structured this. If you're expecting a well-structured argument, like a video essay style, go away. Also, if you don't know me, which if you don't, you probably won't care about any of this video, so just don't waste your time, click off it. I'm 20 years old, I'm in my third year of uni, so I really am experiencing some of the toughest, mind-numbingly boring adult stuff I've ever had to encounter. So take that how you want, you know? But I just think that everything's so adult focused, like when you reach stage, or like everything's so about like, let's get drunk, let's do drugs, let's go partying. And I think we need to appreciate, a little bit of a more relaxed lifestyle. And I'm not saying that, these things don't have a place in the world. I like to drink sometimes. Not so much do drugs, but I like to drink, I'll go out, but I can't do that all the time. I'm not shy. I am just introverted in the sense that I get tired being around people so quickly, and I like to just be at home and be in bed by 10 o'clock, right? So I can't go out every single night. But people I don't know, people kind of just, I don't think I'm that boring. I don't think other people particularly think I'm boring, but I feel like my lifestyle comes across as boring because I'm like, I can't wait to get to bed. I can't wait to sit and do my arts and crafts and be done for the day. And I don't think that's fair because I think the enjoyment I get out of doing shitty little crafts outweighs the enjoyment people get from going on a night out. And I know that's a big statement to claim. That's a big statement to make. But like I think it's true, low key. Low key. And I don't know, this is like the same thing as I think everyone needs a creative hobby. I think people just need to get over the like being serious. Like I feel like people want to present themselves as serious, and people are so obsessed with being like, I'm an adult, I'm so cool, whatever, and being perceived as cool. I think coolness is like actually destroyed. Like, oh, cool girl aesthetic, guys, what's cool? What are we doing this? Who gives a freak? You should be doing stuff that 10-year-old you or like 5-year-old you would be happy to be doing. That's who you should be doing stuff for, not for the people on the internet who might think that you're lame. Because you're probably not anyway. Nobody's thinking about you. Everyone's too preoccupied thinking about themselves. And that's just a fact of life. Nobody thinks about you as much as you think about yourself, right? And that's something that I've had to learn because I have an anxiety disorder. So a lot of my life is me being like, oh my god, what does this person think about me? But you have to just remember, nobody cares. Really, no one cares. Like, not even a little bit. Maybe a little bit, but not really. Not really. Everyone's too preoccupied with themselves. But yes, being perceived as serious or cool. And I've met so many, specifically men, who like, I'll have like fun whimsy or whatever. I'll make a joke and they'll be like, I'm actually, or like, oh, it's so unserious, blah, blah, and like clown on me for having joy and whimsy and childlike wonder. And it doesn't make them better than me. It makes me happier than them because I'm not spending my time being like, trying to yuck someone's yum or whatever and be like, oh, you know? I'm spending time having fun being silly while they're spending time trying to actively make people bad for having fun and being silly. And honestly, one of those lives sounds a lot sadder than the other. And also, it's not going to get you anywhere because ultimately, a lot of the time, if it's in like an academic sense, because it often is, I'm not doing any worse than you. We're not going to any, we're not ending up at any different points. I'm just having more fun getting there. So that's that. I think people need to get less serious, especially because I feel like people who get so serious, they act like people who are being silly aren't aware that they're being silly. Like, being silly is a choice. Well, it comes naturally to me, but I'm choosing to display my silliness to the world. Like, making fun of, I feel the same way about when I dress stupid, right? I dress stupid. I'm dressed ready for bed right now. I've got my little kitties on, but like my hair's pink, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes people are like weird about it. But it's like, I looked in the mirror, I knew what I looked like before I left the house. I actively chose this, so you can't make me feel bad about it because I wanted to do it, you know? And I think people who like clown on silliness forget that people who are being silly know they're being silly. Like, you're not discovering some completely new concept by making fun of me for being fun and whimsical. Like, I know I'm fun and whimsical, guys, you know, like, whatever. But yes, another point of childlike wonder and fun and whimsy. And honestly, I just think it's like imagination and creativity, which I just think children do better because they don't have like preconceived notions of like shame and stuff. Or they do, but like they learn that the older they get. They're not born, no one's born feeling shameful, you know? And if you were, sorry about that. How do you remember? Wow. But like, partaking in fun little indoor hobbies. I like to do like fun little indoor hobbies. As I've said, I hate going clubbing, or I'm just not the biggest fan of going clubbing. But I think we should do childlike hobbies again. Number one, I think we should play pretend. I know people role play both ways and also just like cringe anime ways. I use cringe so like lovingly. I'm very cringe and I love people who are also cringe and shameless about it. We should do that. And then also arts and crafts. I'm such a big advocate for arts and crafts. Get the fucking crayon, draw a fucking family portrait of stickmen. Just do it. And I think there's another thing of people, I think this is the same with the coolness thing, and though this one I relate to a little bit more, is people don't want to be bad at things, or they don't want to make something and then it be kind of shit, and like they spend all this time, they don't even like the end result. And I think the end result is so like, people care about the end result so much more. Same with like the push for efficiency, or whatever. Yes, efficiency, efficacy is like a different thing, whatever. Efficiency when like producing something. It's like, but how's the process of it? Nobody cares about the process anymore. They just care about the end product. And I think that's very sad, because everyone should have a creative project, like hobby, that, you know, maybe necessarily isn't something that you're good at, or isn't something that's monetizable, which hobbies don't have to be monetizable. I'm saying this as an art girly and people are like, you should sell your art. No, I'm not doing it. Sorry, I can't be bothered. That's not why I make it, right? Things don't have to be profitable, things don't have to be good, and things don't have to be for other people. You can just enjoy the act of creation, you know? I think the act of creation is a very human thing to want to experience. And I don't want to be a mother. I don't want to be a parent, but I enjoy when I make my little scrapbook pages. That's my baby, that's my child, you know? That's my cookie, that's my juice, in a sense. If you get that reference, that'll make sense. If you don't, whatever. But like, we should just have fun and play and not be so caught up on being perfect and creating something that's good, because the journey of getting there is fun. And it is like you do have to learn it, because I am also kind of like that. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I'm a bit of an anxiety disorder girly, whatever. Take a shot whenever I mention having anxiety disorder. But like, I had to learn, but like, since scrapbooking, it's like, oh, fuck, I can make the most ridiculous scrapbook page ever and just not show anyone and just have fun cutting things out and sticking things in and making fucking little balls out of tissue paper, and I can have fun doing that. And this end result is great. It's making me joyful. Would other people think it's good? No, they'll probably be like, what the fuck is this? And I'll show you at the end when I've finished doing this. Like, it is a little bit stupid, but I've had the utmost gleeful experience creating it, and that's all that matters. And I think people should bring that back. And yeah, low-key, that's kind of all I have to say. Like, I don't even know. I don't really have a grand thesis point at the end of this. I think people needed to get sillier, basically. I think being serious is, I don't know, being serious gets rid of joy, gets rid of fun. And I don't think everything in the world needs to be perfect and adult. And I think we need to learn how to get enjoyment out of things. The same way we did when we were young. I think everyone needs to get back into, not completely, because obviously I'm not 12 anymore. Actually, 12 is like way too old for this conversation, I feel. I'm not 6 anymore. Like, I obviously can't completely, I know too much about the world now to have that same sort of naivety and innocence that comes with being a child. But I can try and get that feeling back. And I think bringing back that feeling and being able to practice creativity, because creativity is a skill, imagination is a skill. You have to train it. Like, I know like people who be like, oh, I hate doing creative writing, I hate doing creative blah blah blah, I'm just not a creative person. And it's like, it's because you stopped practicing. You enter secondary school, you don't have the opportunities to just make things anymore, and it's, you have to practice. And I'm like biased because I'm an artsy girly. I like doing fun things, I like arts and crafts, but like, it wasn't always like this. And I do think the more I've done it, the more creative I've become, because I'm practicing that skill, you know. So I think everyone should have a creative hobby. It doesn't have to be arts and crafts. You could do like music or something, you do writing, whatever. Have a creative hobby though, practice that skill. But yeah, children developing that skill, that's the skill they're developing, and they don't know everything, and they're not disillusioned in the same way that an adult is. And I think one way to kind of cope through life or whatever, and like make it through the day, or just like find a little bit of joy. I say joy, take a shot every time I said joy. Find a little bit of peace and comfort in the very restless, very high intensity, overstimulating world we live in. Is to just, you know, sit back and try and find time for having a little bit of fun and not stressing so much about being perfect, because I know it's a burden. It is a burden. The what's it called? The weight of perfection and completing things, and your job and work at school, all of that. It weighs on you. Even if you think that you're coping well, you're probably not. You'll probably burn yourself out. So do a silly little creative task. Indulge in a show you watched as a child, and even if it's a shitty cartoon and you're like, none of this is really, like, I know that friendship is magic, guys. Just indulge yourself in it and just let yourself, you know, just revert back a little bit. This is my creation for the day. I love them very dearly. Thanks for watching. Bye.